Hey guys, and welcome back to Life of Miss Watson. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please make sure that you subscribe. Now, yes, today is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the wonderful fathers out there, even the fathers that aren't present in our lives, but they are still our father, because without them we wouldn't be here. Happy Father's Day to the non-biological fathers, stepfathers, all those who have stepped in the place of a father. Today I want to do a story time. Now, I've been going through a lot, like, even though it doesn't seem that way, but it's been rough lately, I'm human, and you have to attract what you want in life, like whether that's positivity, whether it's wealth, whether it's great physical health, mental health, all that, right? So you have to manifest, right? So back in December is the last day. Back in December 2018 was the last month in my own apartment. And as a kid, I've always said, like, I want to be independent. I want to be independent. I want to be independent. And I have lived up to that ever since. Now, I got my first apartment at 18 years old, and I stayed there for 5 years. So you do the math. And, over those 5 years, it's been ups and it's been down, but that's life. And so, I've managed, until I couldn't do it anymore. So December 2018 was the last day of, I would say, my independency temporarily. And I had to leave because financially I couldn't do it anymore. So I ended up moving with my mom, and that only lasted for so long. I won't go into detail about that. But I looked at it as, this may be a great opportunity for me to save money or to get out of debt, right? But it never goes as planned. So basically, I end up leaving my mom's and coming to the valley for some time, just to, regroup and self-reflect and stuff like that, just to get my mind back on track. Now, when I moved out, I wasn't worried or anything. Like, actually, I felt great. Like, my skin was clearing up. I was drinking tons of water. My urine was clear, pH on bomb, alkaline, and everything like that. And so, I was just like, well, maybe this is God. Matter of fact, this is God telling me that it's time for another sacrifice. You've been on your own for 5 years. You hadn't really struggled that much. So of course I've been through some struggles during that time, but there's no struggle bigger than God, and it was time. So I've been telling my mind that, like, it's time for another sacrifice. It's time for another sacrifice. And that's exactly what I believe now. And so, not having my independency has been rough for me, due to that's what I wanted to be since I was a little girl, and it's still going to be accomplished. So along this way, the reason why I had to give it up, I might have already said it, but I'm gonna say it again, is because I was financially struggling. And come along with that, I just couldn't afford it anymore. So I moved out, and I quit my full-time job. I feel like I quit it after, I really can't remember, but anyways, that job was really stressing me out mentally and physically, and I just couldn't do it anymore. It comes to a time you either choose your mental health or you go insane, and I choose my mental health, because that's more important than anything. That's more important than money. That's more important than relationships. Your own personal mental health, right? So went to my mom's, and then I left, came to the valley, and I just been thinking, I've been thinking about this for years now, like maybe 2 years now. of joining the service, just thinking about long term. I want a big family, and I don't want to be struggling, worrying about where my next check is coming from, or, worrying about medical health, dental health, life insurance. I need to be accumulating, excuse me, that's my phone. I need to be accumulating some retirement right now, like I need to get it going because I'm half a century right now, and I've always kept myself grounded by being 2 steps ahead, telling myself, no, I don't have time, I don't have time. People always say, you have time, you have time. No, you don't, because tomorrow could be your last day, one, and two, time goes by so fast. So I always kept myself grounded, telling myself, these affirmations, like, and you need to do this, right? So, you know, people may think like, oh, you look like you've been doing really good. Well, yeah, it may look that way, but I'm human. I struggle too. It's a lot of things that you guys don't know, but some things you just really have to keep, personally to yourself, and that's just what it is. But I'm putting it out there so that you guys can learn from my mistakes, and just learn and grow, right? Um, so yeah, I've literally been thinking about joining the service. Yes, I'm new to this YouTube stuff, but that doesn't mean that it's over. It just don't hold. It might be just on hold for a little while. I may go in there for 4 years. Who knows? I may go for 6 years. Like, I don't know. Right now I'm just really trusting the process. Being patient, trusting God. That's really it. And it's crazy because my license have been suspended due to this ticket that was holding my license, a speeding ticket. And basically I went to court for that, and then I had another ticket for driving with it actually suspended. So I had 2 tickets going on, 2 court dates, right? So one court date comes, and I literally didn't have any money. I didn't have any money to pay my bill, my phone bill. So I ended up getting an extension. And when you get an extension, you can't use your apps, you can't use your maps, anything like that. So I can just call and text. So I got the directions, wrote the directions down before I left, but that only took me so far. When I tell y'all I've been on 6 freeways, I've been on 6 freeways. So, after all this, I even pulled over asking people, can I take a picture of the directions, this, that, and the other. They was looking at me weird, but I had to do what I had to do and humble myself and do what I had to do. So I finally get to court. I'm an hour late, a whole hour late. And I go to the deputy so that he can check me in. And he's like, you're an hour late. Your name has already been called, this, that, and the other. I said, but can you please check again, because I really need this. It's affecting my license and everything else. So he was like, I'm sorry. So, I just kept going. So I sat down, and then he called me up and said, you're lucky. Your name wasn't called. I said, I'm blessed first. And then he was like, well, just go have a seat. So I had a seat. He called me up again the second time and said, your deputy didn't show up. I must to scream. Like, I wanted to cry tears of joy, because not only does that mean that my ticket was dismissed, but the other ticket that I had going on will now also be dismissed. And I was just like, wow, like, that's nothing but God. And I forgot to mention, but I actually manifest this, and I'll tell you how. Before this ticket even got to the state it was in, I literally asked God, I said, can you please fix my license? And although, yes, I put myself in this position, but another way, I couldn't afford it, So, they say don't ask God for things that, you put yourself in, or this, that, and the other. But then God understood, and everything was dismissed. Everything was dismissed. So not only did I not give up, but it worked in my favor. But had I not gave up, I wouldn't have got it dismissed. And then it would have been more money accumulating. And about this service stuff, like, I'm just really thinking long term. I have to do what's best for me. you know yes, I have business plans and stuff like that, but you need help. And growing up as me, having the mindset of wanting to be independent, you really need help. And I've learned that you really need help. So eventually I'll be looking for some interns, who can help me as I help them, and go from there, because I don't want to be working for somebody my whole life. I want to set generational wealth for my kids, my kids. Like, I have to speak these things into existence. It's going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of patience, a lot of dedication. Rest in peace, Nip. But you gotta do it. It's something you have to do. So, you know, I just want you guys to continue to support me, and I'm gonna continue to support you. But I have to do what's best for me. A lot of times we let society control our thoughts, control the way we do things in life, our decisions. But it's not up to society. Society don't pay your bills. Society not there when you need them. Society's not there to, um, you know, uh, be a support system. For the most part, society wants to tear you down. Society doesn't want you to be great. But we're going to not let that happen in our life. We're going to take control of our life. We're going to do what's best for us. And that's just that. Period. So, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you love this story and you really was inspired by it, please comment down below. If you guys want me to do more story time videos, please comment below. Also, make sure that you like, you subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe. You guys, thank you so much, and happy Father's Day again to you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed weekend, and let's get it, because this week we killing it. Period.